Good afternoon. I think I'm going to start with another red and green wreath, some berries, add in some pine. Money obsession, I was just thinking about that myself. Florals, I'm not quite set on yet. I tend to paint and think about what I'm painting as I go. So typically the color that I go for is going to decide what I'm going to paint. Hi, Miss Frankie D. How are you today? Yes, that's exactly how I paint. Go with the flow. Yes, I'm going to check back in. I started my day with that, had a doctor's appointment, went back, pigeon letters. Definitely a few more that I want to see today. And I think it's going to make me end up breaking out my gouache set. I haven't played with that in a while, but I think I'll be playing around with that over the next couple days. So there are workshops that are for watercolor, for gouache, just drawings, digital art as well. If you've got Procreate, it's not all florals. I know there's watercolor portraits. It's not something that I've ever done, but I'm interested in just watching and learning. Oh, and 4, wow. That's awesome. Maybe I'll see you there later today. Yes, no, that was one I wanted to see, exactly. The watermelon and florals. Yep, the Mint Gardener has one that I want to see. She's painting poppies. Oh, Litzy, thank you. It's a lot of practice. Tips and tricks. So I would say practice every day, even if it's just 5 minutes and you want to swatch colors. Let's see, paint small. A small size, that kind of goes along with try and squeeze in a small paint session when you can. But it's, I think, less intimidating. Mistakes are more welcome when you are painting like a super mini landscape where it's just 2 minutes and that's it. Find artists on YouTube that are giving away lots of their own personal tips and tricks. even if they're a different style than what you think you'll like. I think there's always room for learning from others. I followed lots of different watercolor artists in my first couple of months. People who would paint much looser than me, landscapes, things that I didn't think I could paint well, and I learned from all of them. There's certain things that will stick with you. So maybe like the way you'll paint berries, you pick up and you really feel like something feels comfortable for you. Oh, thank you. Definitely start. It's very therapeutic. The more hours with a brush in your hand, the better. Exactly, Vicky. Very, very true. Yes, this red is called Berry. It is my favorite red for that iconic red berry look. This is what I always will go for. Stacy, you're homesick watching a Christmas movie. Oh, my favorite is The Holiday. That's when I'm sick and I want to watch a Christmas movie. That's the one I go for. That red, or this red berry, is from Mrs. Hand Painted. So it's got a lovely, let me see if I have the scrap of paper. A lovely brilliance to it. So it can make a really sweet pink. And then you can get very saturated. So that gives you an idea of that one. Cadmium free. Let me think. If you are interested in alternatives to that, let me see. I have my bolder colors. I have a red, it's called Dragon Blood. Let me get that. I just reorganized all my paints. I think it's more like a preference thing. So I've got cadmium paints that I don't mind using, but it is a heavy metal, right? So just like there's cadmium in batteries and you have to be careful about throwing batteries away. I mean, it's not something I'd want my dog to eat for that reason. So this is Dragon Blood. It's much more brownish red in comparison, but it's another really pretty berry color. And this one is made from plants. So that's the one that I use mostly in the fall. So fall florals. Okay. So all these colors are made from plants. My bolder colors. I just like that bright punch of color once in a while. Danielle, so I love handmade watercolors now. I don't make my own paints. I've done it as a lab with my students before, but I don't make my own from scratch. Paints I usually get are from KMS. I'm a brand ambassador, so KMS will send me once a month 1 or 2 palettes, and I've got a discount code for you for that. And it's mostly just because I started using her paints and I loved them, and she asked me if I'd like some more. And so if I'm going for a metallic color, I'll always reach for my KMS paints. She does a really good job with them. She's got so many beautiful colors. This is just one small palette. I don't get any money from this relationship at all. I just think that they're great paints. So That's KMS, and she's still a teenager. She is a little entrepreneur, which I think is amazing. So this is the July Color Club paints that she sent me, and I've been using them. You could see the dent that I've made in Lemonade. So these are just colors that I love. Bolder Colors has a special place in my heart as well. She sent me stuff for my chemistry students. Sure, it's all capital Palacios paints for KMS. That's 10% off orders $10 or more. Bolder Colors. And if you forget that, it's in the link in my bio. I've got a link to all of the things that I have discount codes on. I won't say yes to just any company or anything like that. If I use it and I love it, I think it's worth it. I share it with you guys. That's just my belief. And then Bolder Colors, I have so many of her colors because I think it's amazing that she takes food waste and plants locally obtained from Boulder, Colorado, and then makes these gorgeous paints. So they're super creamy and luxurious, and I use them all the time. So if you've been watching me paint the last couple of days, you know I usually reach for Bolder Colors at least once. There is an Earth palette, which I've got a discount code for you as well. The Earth palette is really nice. It's 6 colors that she always has on hand, so this is just a special set. So when these are gone, I think they're gone. But there's always the Earth palette, which Leia 15, LEA 15 will get you 15% off on that. Yeah, so those are my 2 go-to. I have a few other paints from, let's see, these are from Redbud pigment. So I use some of this Desert Rose in my green here. And this is one of my favorite, again, for fall florals, like a pink that's got, I'm really bad with color descriptions. It's almost like a mauvey pink. I'll show you. Oh, here we go. Very buildable as well. For me, that's like a really velvety petal for fall florals. Again, I'm probably not doing a good job of showing it off, but I enjoy that in my roses. And then I've got a few of her metallic paints from her Greek Goddess collection. That was one of my first palettes that I bought from a handmade artist, and you could already see that just, this is so good. In the fall, I'll use that a lot. A beautiful light blue with some gold in it. Okay, so that's one wreath. I will do maybe one more, and then some florals. Yeah, Danielle, investing in handmade palettes, I think you get amazing colors, great quality. It really is something special when you get something that's handmade. So I think I'll do one more wreath. I'll do the cream color berries with this one. So my eucalyptus leaves, I'm going to use my Princeton Neptune. It's my favorite brush for eucalyptus type leaf. So I want a bluish green for that. I'm going to take a little Payne's Gray. Hi, Izzy. I'm pretty great today. I've got a book that I'm reading, enjoying my watercolors, just enjoying the rest of summer break. Thank you. I appreciate that. I've been painting for 3 years now, and sometimes it feels like it was just last summer that I started. Sometimes it feels like, wow, I've been doing this my whole life. I can't even imagine what I would be doing without it. Yes, your watercolor paper, Miss Frankie D. Have you tried it? Okay. I don't normally go for hot pressed, but I enjoy it when I'm doing some ink on top of my watercolors. So I'm no expert when it comes to hot press paper. I do love the bow hung textured cold press paper though. One of my absolute favorites. Yes, so much texture. It feels like, I don't know, if you do a landscape and you want to include some white space for an ocean scene or some clouds, it's so easy to do it. I love dry brush leaves. So for me, that paper is extraordinary. I feel like everything I do on that paper is beautiful. It is such a difference. Thank you, Blue Crayon. Good to see you back. I feel like we have some regulars here now, and it's great to catch up with you. I'm still thinking about a little workshop. Maybe not this weekend coming up, but the next one, maybe a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning. I actually don't know what the difference is between those. I just love my textured cold press so much that I've only ever continued buying the one I like. Oh, hopeful optimist, thank you. It makes me so happy to know that. I used to go live on Instagram. Last May, I started doing it almost every day. Throughout the summer, I would do it. But my students were like, you need to get on TikTok. You have to go on TikTok. So this year in February, I think it was, they started it, but I didn't go live until recently. Oh, thank you. Yes. This is Strathmore watercolor card. I do like it for the fact that I don't have to cut up my watercolor art and have to worry about getting double-sided stick tape or something to stick to cardstock, those extra steps in between. So I can say that this is done and it looks nice. But sometimes I think it would be easier just to do a big pattern on a huge sheet of paper and then cut it up. I don't know. But it does make me feel like every piece is a piece of art now. Thank you, Christy. I think it's time for some florals. So I've got several papers that I could use. Okay. I've got that beautiful Leather Village paper. I always enjoy that. Let me see, I've got yesterday's florals on that. Look at that texture, right? Can't be beat. It's like painting on fabric. So I love that. I can actually say I had a quick painting on the back and you couldn't even tell. So I could do that. Or this paper, also an interesting texture, not 100% cotton. It's my go-to practice. I got a new pad, so I think I'll use up this one before I go on to the Leather Village paper. So now I start thinking about what colors am I gravitating towards today? What colors do I want to use? I just move the camera up a bit so you can see most of that. Sorry, it's like bending down. Okay, so for colors, I got my bolder colors out, so I'm thinking I should use this. It's right here. I love these colors. They're from the Vampire Protection Kit. Sorry, I had to separate this set of colors just for it to look like it was more organized. So I think I'm gonna go in for some of these colors. Let's see, big brush. Yes, so Vampire Protection Kit, it's got colors, I don't think I can remember them all. They're all in association with some sort of like warding off of vampires. So there's paint made from garlic, paint made from holly, buckthornberry, this is rowanberry. I can't remember them all, but it was a Halloween special set of paints, and they're just really pretty. It's got my favorite green in there. So, okay, big brush. This oval, pointed oval. Dog mom, don't be worried. So, like I said, good paper, cut it into smaller papers. Now you have more of them. You have something to experiment with. Maybe do like 2 as a warm-up and then use a bigger piece. I have some really nice paper that I save, but that's mostly because I get commission work once in a while, and I always have this fear. It's like, I'm going to use up my paper and I'm going to have to order more, and that's when I should be working on something. But Miss Frankie D's right. Nice paper will elevate whatever it is that you're painting. So if you're painting a landscape, that landscape's going to look so much better. And it's not your talent that's changing. It's the paper that's just enhancing what you can do. So let's do some creamy orange peachy thing. Let's see. That's that rowanberry. Sometimes I feel like my florals are not repetitive, but that I don't explore new shapes enough. So I hope you're not bored with my florals. I just paint what I kind of want to in the moment. And I don't really know what that's going to be because I don't plan. And that's Xena panting. With her little nails on the floor. Okay. Okay, so we've got some blooms placed here. Let's give it some dimension on that one. And I want to use this purple. I'm going to go in with a smaller brush. I think this is my holly. And there's also rose. I think the purple is rose, actually. Thank you, Miss Rinky D. Speaking of favorite papers, I do have a vintage book that I have. I sometimes watercolor in that. Some of my favorite paintings are actually in that book. I should show that to you. I think I flipped through it once or twice when I was on a TikTok live, but it's been a while. So if you're new here, you probably haven't seen it. I even have a hummingbird that I painted in there. And I saw a hummingbird visiting my zinnias today. That's what made me think of it. Nope, I just watercolor straight on it, no prep. And it turns out amazing. It's almost like hot press paper that you're working on. Very, very nice finish. Okay, a couple more and then some stems. And maybe some little buds. Okay. Using my petals brush now, and my favorite green buckthorn berry. It's a Bolter color, incredible color. Adding in those leaves and stems is my favorite part. So you can tell I slowed down and I'm just enjoying piecing it together. Seeing how all of those florals are going to end up as one. Okay, so those are the little purple flowers. And then for my major blooms, I'm going to add a few things to them. Yep. I think that's good. Thanks, Miss Frankie D. All right. Oh, on the big screen. Thank you for putting me there. I appreciate it. I think I'm going to add a little bit of this creamy color, that peach, into the centers of these purple blooms. I think that would be a nice little tie-in. And then that's going to be it. Is it Zoe? Zoe? Yes. Everything that I paint is available for purchase in my Etsy store. So if you see something that you like, it could be yours for $15, including shipping. If you see something and you're like, oh, I wish he made these florals in pink, and you'd like something custom and commission a piece, I could do that for about $20, $25, depending on the size, the paper that you want. So yes, if you want this, it can be yours. I'm in New Jersey, United States. I don't know where you are, but most of my sales have been local. So there we go. So I kind of base shipping. Oh yeah, Ohio, no problem. No problem. I was gonna say, for price, I think I had one that someone wanted framed, and it cost something like $10 for shipping, so it ended up making $5. So I just kind of keep it in mind. Like this is something light. I'll send this in like a bubble mailer, and it doesn't cost too much. Something like $3 maybe. You were just in Cape May. Sad to be home in PA. I think PA is beautiful. Thank you. So yeah, even if you think like, oh, I'd love it with some gold or some silver, you can just let me know. It can be yours. So I think this came out really nice. But this is today's piece. This was yesterday's. I really like the big leaves. I typically don't use a big brush for leaves, but I like that. I have some other things on my desk. It only shows one thing available. Oh, so I do that because Etsy, it costs me money to make a listing. And so if nobody buys it, it just costs me money. So if you want this, you could just DM me, say you want it, and then I put the listing up for you, and then you can take it from there. That's just because I started my Etsy account and I listed like 20 things and I only made one sale. So then I got scared. So I should list more things there. But now I try and just list the things that are intended to go to sales. I hope that makes sense. Yes, yesterday's makes me happy too. Yes. Zena's hair, we were talking about her yesterday. Like that is enough for me. Like paint something, draw a floral on top, and that would make me happy for at least a day. But this I'm very happy with. All right. I think that's it for today. If you have any other questions, let me know now. Otherwise, I'll be back tomorrow. It's getting hard for me to remember what day of the week I'm in. So we're still in the week. If you haven't been on the Pigeon Letters free workshops all day, I think they go until Saturday or Friday. Is that right, Miss Frankie D? I forgot my schedule. But we've got a couple more days. It just started today. So if you're new to watercolor, just love watching people create, that might be something that you want to hop onto. So each of the workshops are going to be available for 24 hours for free to see. So you haven't missed anything if you want to tune in today. I'm not teaching, I'm not on there. I'm just going to be a viewer, but very inspiring stuff. Thank you, Miss Frankie D. yeah, I'll see you later for sure. In an hour, I'll be at that one. Bye. Anybody else? Questions? Yes, it is free to watch all this. Free to watch me. I'll be back tomorrow. No problem, dog mom. All right. Hope you have a wonderful day. I'll be back here tomorrow. I will list this. I'm already sad to see it go, but I'm happy. Have a great day. Bye.